Recording going. This is Radio Free Cybertron episode 456. That's really easy to remember because 456. Recorded on, what is this, February 24th, 2016. That's the one part I can't remember without looking. So, as you may notice, I'm not Brian Kilby. Brian Kilby has to go and jack a car or something. I'm not really sure, but he's not here.
He has
so
to go
we're
to
doing
a world
without
peace.
him.
He has to go to a world peace conference.
Yeah, but he'll be back in about 2 years when it's Radio Free Cybertron Zeo. Also absent this week is Rob Clay, who's a little under the weather. Feel better soon, Rob. But I am joined by Diecast, who is running the call for us this week until he has to go take an important business call. Headmaster Don, Matt, a.k.a. Melvar, and John DeLuna. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Hopefully good.
Little wet, little wind blown. Not too bad.
Don, I don't want to know why you're wet.
Well,
and honestly,
rain.
that may be in the TMI territory for this show.
Lots of rain recently.
Sure, Don, sure.
Rain, tornado warning.
I have a special note in the show notes here that I'm supposed to remind people of. JoeLanta is March 12th and 13th in Atlanta, Georgia. Rob Springer, Dusty Griffin, and Brian Kilby will be presenting the Transformers panel at 2 p.m. on Saturday, March 12th. So if you're in the area and going to the show, be sure to check that out.
Don't remind me.
Well, Diecast, you could go.
It was a really good show. I wish I could be there because we had a lot of fun. It's a good show. We had a lot of fun, and the GI Joe drop is amazing. It's so much fun.
That seems like it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, it really makes you feel like you're a kid again.
I don't want to stand down at the bottom with a big umbrella.
That actually, some people would need that because if the parachute doesn't open right, it goes straight down, and they're throwing 12-inch GI Joe figures. So
I was going to ask that, were they all 12-inch, or was there any like 3 3/4-inch figures?
There was a couple. Like I was throwing some of the smaller ones. We got the cheap little parachute guys from Walmart for like $2 or $3, but the majority of people were throwing the 12-inch figures.
Oh my God! You were throwing the core figures at a GI Joe drop.
They weren't even the core figure. They were just like green figures that had no articulation at all that were tied to a parachute.
Wait, hang on. I know what to do for this. Right. So anyway, also, want to remind everybody about our iTunes review contest, which is not just limited to iTunes reviews. Leave us a review on iTunes or your podcast aggregator of choice. There's a lot of them out there, and we're on any that we can think of. And just, leave us a review. Send us a confirmation of your review either by email, contact@tfradio.net, or over Twitter @tfradio, or on Facebook. Diecast, what's our Facebook?
Radio Free Cybertron?
Okay, then. I don't Facebook, so I don't know these things. You can send confirmation as a screenshot. That's probably the best way to do it. You can also, if it works better for you to copy and paste the text of the review you left, you can do that too. Just, get that to us through one of those means and let us know that you left us a review. We'll be selecting the winner and announcing it on the March 2nd episode of Radio Free Cybertron, and the winner will receive a Combiner Wars Onslaught, which is a really nice figure.
Yeah,
very nice. One of the stars of the Combiner Wars line, easily.
Do you like Onslaught better than Hotspot?
No, I think I actually like Hotspot a little bit better because I find the latter actually makes it a little bit more friendly to pose because you have that, like tripod leg to use. So Onslaught's a little more limited because you don't have that extra balance point.
Yeah,
that
helps me a lot too.
Yeah, but like either version of that mold is so fantastic, like so stylish, and even without the support backpack, you can do a lot with that figure's jointing and just body structure. So we did have this asked on Twitter since we announced the contest last week, and existing iTunes and podcast aggregator reviews that you may have left already for us will be counted for the contest. You're not getting left out if you reviewed us before we announced the contest. So everybody's got a chance, so get to it. Okay, so Kilby's not here, but as it turns out, the only new stuff listed in the show notes is that Brian has the Minicon Battle Pack Optimus and Bludgeon from Robots in Disguise, which, I mean, that's really great for him. It'd be nice if he was here to talk about it for us, but to split the difference, Matt, why don't you tell us about what you got?
Well, Brian generally only likes for us to talk about, Transformers stuff on the Transformers podcast, but Brian's not here. So screw it. I got a Power Rangers Blade Blaster, Legacy style, and it is pretty awesome. And I will talk about it because technically it does transform into a gun. So it is technically appropriate for this podcast.
Well,
and,
now, Matt, if you
it's
think about
nice.
this, if you think about it, we talk about third-party Transformers stuff here. And
Yeah.
that is, a transforming toy that is not an official Transformers product, so I think that does count.
That is third party. Yes.
Yeah.
And it does have some nice die cast in it. The barrel and the teeth
Easy.
on the handle. Nice hard plastic blade. Very nice. Got it got it on sale too. So hooray!
So on a scale from 1 to severe concussion, how physical violence friendly is that?
It's pretty physical violence friendly. Oh yeah, because it is the blade is plastic, but it is a very very rigid, thick plastic, and you could do some real damage with that thing.
I remember my original that I got in '93, which the colors were off. It was black instead of white. And the blade, even then, was a bendy rubber. It wasn't hard plastic. And also, I'm sure that's a little bit bigger than that, too.
Oh, yeah.
I am fairly impressed with how that looks. I can't say I'd want to pay even, like 50-ish for that. But
And actually, no visible screw holes anywhere on it.
Ooh, that's nice.
They've covered up everything. I'm really impressed
that
with
is
this thing.
basically prop quality.
Yeah. I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
nice.
have
Are
to
you
go
gonna...
get. I almost bought one of those last week, and I was in a bad mood, and I was like, I don't need this.
Yes, you do.
But I have a 15% off coupon, and I got the Toys R Us credit card, so tomorrow I would get 15% off and another 10 on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I think I'm gonna
yeah.
have to go.
You might do that.
Yeah.
So Matt, are you gonna buy the Legacy Communicator when it comes out?
Ooh.
And if so, are you also going to buy the Legacy Tommy Communicator, which is sold separately?
Which is the biggest.
Ooh.
What's
See,
the
these are tough
communicator?
questions. The wrist
I mean,
watch.
Oh,
the only difference is the bands. Yeah, they're selling
Yeah.
Tommy's separate.
Yeah.
That is.
Oh no! See, Tommy's Communicator comes with a feature where you always forget where you left it.
Excellent.
Mm.
Okay. I would like to have one. I'm not going to pay $70 for it. So maybe when it goes
you're
on,
smart.
maybe when it goes on deep clearance one day. But honestly, I'm kind of hoping for a gold Zeo version. So maybe I'll just hold out for that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's certainly possible when the Legacy stuff cycles around to Zeo, because that was pretty much the last gasp of Tommy.
Which, well, I figure with a Ninja and Shogun Zords, we've got about 2 more years of MMPR. So
Unless
maybe
they just
we'll
cycle back around and start doing, new
For the
versions
movie.
of the
for the movie.
new versions of the old Legacy stuff.
Well, I definitely want a Shogun.
hoping,
I definitely want a Legacy.
I really want a Legacy Golden Power Staff. So let me have my dreams.
Don?
I want a Legacy Shogun Zord. I wish they could somehow include both arms or a way to.
Okay, no, see, this is what they're going to do with that. They'll release the white Shogun Zord by itself for $80, and then a year later you'll get the other ones in a box set.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah.
Well, it's better than a $200 box set like they just did with the other one.
The Thunder Megazord,
The Thunder Megazord that's out on stores.
That is because that's the best Megazord ever, and it's so awesome they couldn't price it any less than
I don't
$200.
know. No, I think Shogun, and I think the Lightspeed Rescue Megazord is up there too.
This week on Superhero Time.
Isn't this a Transformers podcast?
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
did anybody else get anything this week?
I have a pile of loot that I haven't shipped yet because I'm waiting for Stomp.
Don, that doesn't count.
Doesn't
Somehow,
count.
Don, that counts less than Matt's Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
I agree.
But that's just how it breaks down.
Because he could show it on the screen, and you have a big pile of hope.
A big
I have a
pile
Massey.
of soap.
By default, I win. I have a Massey.
No,
I have
Don.
I have two cats in the other room.
Don, I believe if we ask Massey, you lose. No, see, Don could show his pile of loot on screen, but he would have to log into his account, pull up his pile of loot listing, and then turn his camera around at the screen to show it to us. And at that point, that's just going to take too long.
Still, it's not yours till it's in your hand, because like Don had happened before.
Paid for it. It technically is his.
But they could ship it to his house, and someone could steal the package from his house, and he will never have that nice shiny stomp that was in his box because someone else took it, like his mic stand.
Then, yeah, my mic stand. Well, I think that was just never delivered.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the case may be, let's move on. So this week in history, your childhood is rescued. In 1987, the Transformers episode "The Return of Optimus Prime" Part 1 premieres in the U.S., signaling the beginning of the end of the Transformers as a cartoon in the United States.
Sad
Optimus Prime is back. Let's end the show.
Well, I mean, there wasn't really much point in continuing the show after that anyway, because Rodimus wasn't the leader anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it was just going to be boring after that anyway.
Yeah, at least Rodimus kept things interesting.
Yeah. Rodimus was a lot better leader for his time.
Rodimus was more fun as a leader.
Yeah.
Rodimus was always like, I can't be a leader. I can't do this. I can't. And then he's finally like, oh, I can do this. Now Optimus Prime is back. Here you go.
Yes, literally, the episode after Rodimus learned his lesson and accepted his role as leader, the very next episode was the Return of Optimus Prime. Like, if that is just not a kick to the nuts, I don't know.
Yeah. But because it's but I really was so happy to see this. I've always liked Rodimus. It's just having Prime come back was something that I was really expecting to happen before. Because when this came out, I was almost, if not 17, I was close enough being 17 when this came out, and I was like, okay, bring Prime back. Like Prime will run the Autobots on Earth. Rodimus will run it on Cybertron, but it didn't work out that way because Target Masters.
I mean, you could have had Target Master Rodimus Prime too. That's just not what they chose to do with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rodimuses, because I don't think this is in the show notes.
Rodimi.
Rodimi. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything. There are some emails going out from Big Bad Toy Store saying Rodimus is going to be in soon, which is really cool.
I ordered mine from HLJ.
I did too.
That means it should be in there soon too.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I still think I'm going to wait to ship it though until something else comes in.
Yeah.
Like
although, like I've looked at a couple of the video reviews that have turned up from like the Asia sourced ones, and I gotta say it looks a lot better in practice than those promotional pictures made it out to be.
I'm hoping we have another Ironhide on our hands where it's really bad photography. And
I think partly it is, yes.
Yeah. But I've got mine through HOJ. It's about $10 cheaper, even with shipping. So I'm saving $10 that way. But I am looking forward to getting him. And with what y'all have said about Ironhide, I'm going back to pick up. And even though I was happy with the iGear ones, and I still like my iGear ones, but I would like to have a decent G1 Ironhide since
I think you'll be happy with it, Don.
Yeah.
I regretfully sold both of my classics Ironhide. Oh, boo-hoo. I'm so sorry.
If the Combiner Wars Ironhide wouldn't have looked so terrible, I'd have totally gotten rid of my Universe Ironhide in favor of that, just because and it's not even the Universe one, it's the Henkei Ironhide that I have.
Yeah. I gave Kilby my Universe one. I bought the Henkai.
No, I mean, I totally would unload that because I don't like that toy. I would like an alternative that is better and more suitably Ironhide, but the Combiner Wars one just absolutely was not that.
The best
my problems with that toy are the arms, which are terrible, and all the panel lines in the vehicle mode. Other than that, I actually there's a lot about that toy I like.
But the Wheeljack is the best Wheeljack ever. That Combiner's Wheeljack. No,
Don, I can't. That's enough. Don.
Yeah. The bad thing is the best Ironhide and Ratchet outside of the Masterpiece ones we're getting is probably the BotCon 2005 ones from the Toe Line mold.
Possibly so. Like I picked up the toe line mold at BotCon last year for like $5, I think. And I like that. I like the Energon aesthetic in the first place, but like toe line's a nice toy. It's the engineering wise is kind of limited. I don't think it would hold up if you tried to release that as Ironhide and Ratchet now.
Oh no, but I'm just saying, as far as up until this
yeah.
point, if you had to have if you had a representation, that would be the best one you could get.
Yeah. You're asking for trouble, Don.
He's gonna kill me anyway at some point, so I'm just.
So you might as well have your fun first.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the news. And as always, even if we forget to mention it one week, you can find the news items from the show at this week, tfradio.net/456. It'll always be tfradio.net/whatever the show number is. So even if we don't mention it one week, it's still there. You can go and check that out to keep up with us after the show.
Because y'all can only take so much heart-stopping excitement before we have to break. So I understand.
Sure, Don, sure. Okay, so we have the first look at Unite Warriors Bruticus's box art with a big sample stamp over it.
But oh, that's a beautiful box.
Most all the Unite Warriors box art is really nice, except for Devastators, which was just a lift of the Hasbro box art.
Yeah. I think, like Don said, it's a really nice looking box, and I didn't really pay attention to the other ones, but I'm getting this one, so that's why maybe I'm looking at it a little bit harder.
And I've got them all.
Yeah, and I'm picturing this. I'm picturing this now in G2 colors, and if they use this box for which I hope they do, for the G2 version in the US, which I don't know why
they've already seen the box art for G2 Bruticus, Don.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if we had or not. But I would love this in G2 would almost be as good as the Fall Cybertron version. Almost.
Yeah,
well, the toys would be better.
Yeah, the toys.
Yeah, definitely. I think the when Hasbro did the conference call presentation, the box art was part of that. So yeah, it's not the same art. I'm sorry, Don.
Oh, okay.
You know, if that Bruticus wave really is not as widely distributed as I think, I might actually be able to sell my wave off since I'm getting this anyway. Because I didn't open any of the figures yet. No, I did open Brawl. Yeah. I opened one figure, but other than that, I didn't open any of them.
I've only bought the 3 that I saw at Kmart and the 4 that showed the one case that showed up at my local Walmart. And I haven't seen any other deluxes anywhere at all.
Yeah. See, around me, we're starting to get that that Skylinks wave, whatever you want to call that.
Bad. Boring.
Yeah. The horrible Wheeljack wave.
Skylinks and the
shampoo bottles.
Yeah.
Team Shampoo Bottle.
I mean, Smokescreen doesn't look bad, but I always like his
colors.
No,
Smokescreen does look bad, but Smokescreen has the most color variance out of any of those toys, so it has the illusion of not looking as bad.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to make Smokescreen look terrible. But
Hasbro succeeded a couple times, but you know.
Yeah. But if you've got the Masterpiece version and you're not really doing Sky Rain, you don't really need any of that wave, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unless you're like me and just have spare torsos lying around that didn't have their own dedicated limbs. Poor Cyclonus.
Yeah.
His name's Scattershot. Sorry.
And I mean,
he doesn't rate his own limbs. He's by himself over there somewhere.
Well, and there's going to be the Computron box set at some point too, so that Scattershot's going to be pointlessly redundant no matter what.
Yeah.
But it's not the same Scattershot though, right?
It will be the same scatter shot. It'll hopefully
same mold, some deco differences.
Yeah. It'll be better paint.
Appropriate paint.
It'll be paint.
Yeah, more appropriate. If we get the opportunity at BotCon this year to, have like 10 minutes with the Hasbro people, I am sorely tempted to ask, okay, so, well, assuming they've revealed the Computron box set at that point, this box set's happening. Why did you release a solo scatter shot 6 months ahead of that?
Yeah.
Because
if you don't want to do it, I will, and I'm not going to.
Yeah,
so.
because there had to have been something that they could have done as a case filler. Other than that, I mean,
Reship Battle Core Optimus for that matter.
It was probably stores wanting a new mold on new product on shelf.
I'm hoping they're going to tell us that they didn't. Initially, they were planning on doing the Computron wave later, but then they decided that they had to do it as a box set, and it was already, the Voyager figure was already...
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe it was initially supposed to be Skylinks, and they knew it wasn't going to be ready in time.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I would like to just have an answer on record for that, because the whole situation just feels off to me.
I would like to hear that answer, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Because as good as and I don't have the Scattershot figure, and I really don't want it since I'm planning on getting the Computron set. But I lost my train of thought.
So keeping on the
but the quality of the Combiner War Voyagers has been pretty high up there across the board, with a few exceptions as here and there. But Scattershot is such a low. It's such a low spot below that bar. That why would you release something that doesn't meet the standards of the rest of the line, aesthetically or?
I mean, I would say that's kind of subjective.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can totally see where you're coming from, but that's more based on just our disappointment at deco choices more than anything.
Yeah, it's still a good quality figure. It's just I don't care for some of the aesthetic choices. But
it's a good quality figure, and they put a lot into the remolding of it to bring it more in line with the silhouette of Scattershot. They didn't, for the single release one, they didn't take it to the full extent deco wise. Like I said, I can see where you're coming from, but I still think it's kind of a subjective thing and probably not the way to approach the question. So keeping on the Unite Warriors track, which we fell right off of, we've got pictures of the Unite Warriors Blastoff prototype showing, as we suspected for quite a while, that the tail fins can stay attached to the legs, and confirming some suspicion that it can do a Hulk hand with its combiner fist. Very
nice.
I'm expecting pictures at some point in the next few weeks showing that, hey, there's a robot torso on its back, as, an actual feature.
Right.
Because, I mean, there's a chest on its back. You can't really ignore that.
I like this Blastoff. It's a little bit strange, though, because he does basically transform backwards, which means his chest sticks out really far.
Right.
So they've hidden that pretty well in angles so far. I'm interested to get this in hand.
I mean, I understand this because Blastoff is the only one who looked that way in any media. But Shuttle Gunner. Yeah, Shuttle Gunner, right, from Battle Gaia. Yeah. That used the toy chest in the art. Movor from Robots in Disguise used the toy chest in the art. Hasbro, if they were to use this, would probably focus on the toy-based chest rather than the backpack chest. I understand why they engineered it that way, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, for anybody watching video, his chest is basically going to stick out that far.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to see what that's going to look like in hand. Definitely excited for it, though.
Yeah, and the only thing off with this is just the shades of brown on their painted samples. The colors of Blastoff look weird in the colored form we've seen it. Maybe when it's in actual production plastics, that will be balanced out a little bit better. Yeah. But yeah, I've got Bruticus on pre-order. I'm looking forward to getting that Blastoff. Hopefully I'll like it more than I like Groove. And hopefully go ahead.
I was say I'm actually pretty positive on Groove. I really like him.
Groove just feels weird and out of place.
A little bit off, yes, but nothing off-putting. Just a little bit different.
Yeah, no, there's there's nothing inherently bad, I don't think. It's just, yeah, something about it is a little bit off, and hopefully Blast Off will escape that.
I'm interested to see what kind of a light speed he'll make.
Well, hopefully as a light speed he won't need rescue.
Afterburner.
I was gonna say, wasn't Lightspeed a car?
Yes, Lightspeed was a car.
I get that messed up too, so I totally understand.
And those were the two I actually had as a kid, so I shouldn't mess those up.
Well, no, I mean, like, you'd expect a spaceship to be called Lightspeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not unreasonable. Although, to Don's reference,
but he
was
a Tron light cycle, not a spaceship or a car.
Yeah, that's why I associate Lightspeed with him sometimes, is just because he's a light cycle to me.
I thought that was Afterburner.
Yeah, Afterburner.
And I'm interested to see how Groove looks as Afterburner. That's how we got onto that. But I called him Lightspeed instead, so...
Anyway, to the reference Don was trying to slip by, I'd like to see this Blast-Off redecoed as the Max Solar Zord.
Yes. Absolutely. Sign me up. I will pre-order day one.
Never gonna happen. So we got an interesting thing from these fuzzy scans of the most recent issue of Figure King, showing Takara Tomi's plans for what we're getting as Titans Return, which is apparently going to be folded into their Transformers Legends series. They're making new Headmasters cartoon accurate heads.
I love this. I will be double dipping.
I think I'll be okay with the Hasbro versions.
No,
Yeah.
I want the cartoon accurate heads. I'll double dip because 2 heads is always better than 1.
Don, no. Okay,
yeah,
so from this point on, Diecast is now known as Don.
You lucky bastard.
I had to. I do. I really like the cartoon accurate heads, and I'll be probably getting both.
It's weird. I don't either. I just I want my I want my rebirth heads, and that's what we're pretty much getting. So yeah,
Not really. The
But you could buy
heads
you
are
could buy
completely
these and
different.
reenact the Star Dubs, Don.
do you? I will bludgeon you with that legacy
Farm is there.
blade blaster.
Yes, and on a scale of physical violence, it's pretty up there. Yeah, I liked the Headmasters in dub and sub form, but the Hasbro heads are so much more interesting looking, and that's really what's important to me. Like, these are good representations of those animation designs. Don't get me wrong, they look really nice. They're just not what I'm after for this.
Now, when we get to anything from Master Force, I'll definitely be more interested in seeing what they do.
Yeah, I agree.
For Master Force.
And
I agree.
The good thing is, like the Japanese the Legends line, the prices are getting closer and closer to Hasbro's retail prices lately.
Well, that's just because the Hasbro retail prices are going up and up.
Yeah. So
And the yen still holds.
eventually, it's not really going to matter to the collector which version they get, is because the price is going to be negligible.
And maybe I don't know. Hasbro's already said that they're looking at a year to a year and a half out, and there's no plans for an RC. With Takara doing their own, I'm just saying, with Takara doing their own thing, they might have a plan for an RC, even if it's not Headmaster. It'll still be a Titan Master anyway. But
Okay, so I'm thinking about that too. Like, what they show in the magazine scans are Hardhead and Skullcruncher, who they all have always been Headmasters and main characters in the Headmasters. I'm kind of wondering if it's going to end up being like how certain aspects of the Combiner Wars line got into Transformers Adventure along with other random stuff, and the Titans Return toys that are non-Headmaster characters are going to end up over there just so they can sell the stuff, but it's not in their, proper collector line.
At this point, both Hasbro and Takara are doing things that we never thought they would do, as far as characters and figures and making and the level of retoolings that we're seeing. So at this point, there is no There is no, oh, they're going to do this. No, we don't know what the hell they're going to do.
No, I mean, look at Grand Galvatron. Who would have called that?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. It's like, I mean,
Awesome.
like, it is. I've got on a pre-order. I think.
On both sides too. You got Grand Galvatron on the Takara Tomy side, and you have the Leo Kaiser inspired thing on the Hasbro side. Like, who crossed the wires that day?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a Brave robot homage to somehow pop up between the two, and it's like, okay, I'm done. I've seen it all.
That energy drink Optimus Prime looks kind of brave, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Energy drink Optimus Prime.
Power Surge.
Surge or whatever.
Surge.
The one with the Minicon and the wings that was at Toy Fair.
Oh, okay.
The one
that's right.
oh,
You
yeah.
weren't there when we were making up names for it. Sorry.
It looks like Optimus Prime mugged a butterfly for his wings.
I just call him Red Bull Optimus. Yeah.
I was gonna say something else, but let's just move on because I don't remember what I was gonna say. So new images. Oh, I remember now. It's not in the article, but that Figure King page also apparently said that Takara Tomy's considering giving Hardhead 2 guns because that's animation accurate, where the Hasbro one only has the 1 gun.
Oh.
So that might also be a selling point for that if, more weapons, it matters to you a lot. So we have new official images of Masterpiece Shockwave, which comes out at the end of March. Which it doesn't feel like any time has passed since we first saw the prototype for Shockwave, does it?
No. And it is gorgeous.
Look how good that looks.
Well, one question, guys. Is that the right purple? Or is that purple a little, or is the lights making it look too lavender to me?
Purple photographs and videos strangely, and I'm sure they've gone to steps to color correct this to be as accurate as possible. But it's really hard to ever say if photographed purple really represents what the plastic's going to look like.
Yeah, he should not be a dark purple. This does look a little too lavender, but yeah, hopefully it's just a trick of the lighting or photography.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume until people start getting it in hand and confirming its relation to media portrayals, I would say the truth is somewhere in between.
Yeah, because he's only a shade or two off from Henkei Cyclonus. In that,
I'm not seeing it as being quite that light, but yeah, it's a little on the light side. But
I'll be honest. After seeing this picture, and as I said before, Shockwave is not on my list of must-get new figure of. Mm-hmm. But after seeing this, and after Ironhide turning out to be so good, after it looked so bad for so long, I might wind up getting a Shockwave. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this will probably go on my eventual buy list. I mean, there's stuff that's been on my eventual buy list for 10 years I still haven't bought, but
yeah. I still would like to see an Astro Magnum version of this if it was.
And I'm sure if there's any way to get around that, you will see it somewhere. Yeah. So.
Just so that way I could have G1 Shockwave and since I never had an Astro. Well,
I mean, no, they could do that. They just have to conflate it with animated Shockwave, because there is a Shockwave who is primarily gray.
And since there's no licensing necessary in this one, we could probably see a Hasbro version and yet a darker purple.
And probably with an orange barrel plug.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But here's the thing. That orange barrel might look kind of awesome.
Action Master. There you go.
Uh-huh. And if we knew for sure that was happening, that would definitely replace the Japanese one on my eventual buy list. If they went whole hog with that and made it fully an Action Master Shockwave deco, I would be all about that.
Yeah.
Well, there's no eventually for me. This is important because I had the Shockwave toy as a child and I loved it then, and this thing just looks amazing. Yeah. So, I am counting the days.
And in news of stuff that none of us will ever own, we have pictures of unreleased G2 Sandstorm from a Chinese auction site.
Ooh, I haven't seen this.
Yeah,
yeah, I've heard about this though.
The I can't remember the title of the book. I'm so sorry, Jim. But the book Jim Sorensen and Bill Forster worked on with all the box art, I believe had that Legacy.
Legacy.
Thank you. How could I forget that? We were just talking about Legacy stuff from another brand earlier.
I keep it close to me at all times.
Good job. I believe there is a copy of packaging art for that Sandstorm.
Oh, there is
in that book. So that I don't know if that's the first time we learned about that, because as I talked about when the book was actually coming out, there's stuff in there that even I had never heard of. But at some point in the planning of G2, there's going to be more uses of this. Yeah, there we go. For those of us not watching video, that was just holding up the page with the Sandstorm art on it. You should really go check out the YouTube version of this so you can see the postage stamp size video frame of the Legacy
or just buy the Legacy book because it's awesome.
Yeah,
yes, but looking at the video is a more immediate way to see that. Yes, you should buy that Legacy book. It's an amazing resource. Lots of time and love was put into that. But yeah, so I mean, things like the G2 Menasor production samples that have been going a couple times in the last year or two, like, those are one thing because they're kind of known, but seeing something like this that almost never comes up in any format, that's kind of amazing to me.
Yeah, this stuff isn't going to be around forever. These little finds in boxes and corners and crevices, sooner or later, this stuff is going to basically just age into dust. And we're not going to be getting this rare stuff anymore. So when this happens, remember it and enjoy it because it's not going to last forever.
Well, and the thing is, too, like, there's only so much of this stuff that was produced and never got, or, well, planned for production, had test shots made, and never went any farther. And eventually, all of the stuff is going to be known. So, like, this process of discovery, this learning of a new thing for the first time, that also has a limited lifespan because that kind of thing does not happen near as much with the modern lines. You know, when they put into making something, we find out about it pretty fast through, questionable means often, but still we find out about it. And if they put the effort into it, it usually comes out in some fashion. This is, in a different way than Don's saying, it's a very limited thing still for us. So yeah, I mean, enjoy these bits of new discovery because they're pretty amazing when they come up. Let's see, where are we here? We have official product photos for Combiner Wars Wreck-Gar, which is, orange groove with a Wreck-Gar head.
And might possibly go with some combiner somewhere.
I mean, I found a way to put the mold on Skyrain. You can see that in the review of Skyrain I did at TFormers. But I don't think it's an intended way to do it. It's just a way that works.
That looks really weird.
It does.
Very much.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, like the Shockwave pictures, I'm hoping these colors just don't photograph well.
Yeah, I remember the painted one they had in the case at BotCon being a darker orange than this.
Yes, it was very orange, and this is very peach.
Peachy.
It's yellower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's peach. It's like peach energy or peach.
I really hope this looks better in hand.
Well, on the one hand, like, who cares?
And two, it's orange.
On the other hand, you're probably never actually going to see one. Would be my guess. Because it's a Tail End Legend wave, and it comes with reruns of 3 previous figures.
Yeah, that's going to be...
So there's not going to be that many of them in rotation in any case.
The last time that happened was the Cosmos Warpath wave from one of the first wave of Legends. I saw that Cosmos 1 time. 2 times.
I never saw that second series of Universe Legends. Cosmos, Wheelie, and Warpath. Yeah, Warpath was the third one. I never saw that, and it was not for want of trying, believe me.
I saw Warpath all over the place, but that's the only one.
Yeah. Well, the only way people I knew got that Warpath mold was buying that Target repack set The head
which
of his
was Gut Cruncher. Yeah.
Gut Cruncher. That's the only way I knew people got that mold at all, because they never saw a Warpath.
Mm-hmm. Of course, at this point, we have better versions of all those characters, better toys.
Yep. But that
So,
legend still is not bad.
I'm just saying, like, everything works out eventually. And the new Cosmos we got in place of that first Legends Cosmos is pretty damn great.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
it is.
Yes, it is. So, Don, you might be interested in this next one.
Okay.
The package art for the new Legion class Robots in Disguise figures may be revealing a Season 2 spoiler.
Okay, let me go right down to here, because I've not had a chance to check all the show notes.
Way to be prepared, Don. Good job.
So it's the Legends Blizzard Strike Optimus and the Legends Ratchet, but Ratchet's packaging art is kind of interesting and sort of stands out.
Well, let me take a look at it here, see what it is. Come on,
Don,
Windows.
you make for great podcasting.
Damn.
Okay, so let me frame this for our listeners. So Blizzard Strike Optimus. Yeah, while Don deals with that, let me.
While Don is viciously attacked.
Don was getting too excited, and Matthew had to bring him down. So Blizzard Strike Optimus does not even get recolored character art on the packaging. It's just normal red Optimus Prime art. Hi, Massey. Legion class Ratchet gets completely new character art, which is kind of making us think maybe Ratchet is going to be appearing in Season 2 of Robots in Disguise.
Because that's definitely Prime Ratchet.
And the thing is, the figure is decoed in a very particular way to evoke the actual Transformers Prime model of Ratchet, even though the character art looks nothing similar.
So that is I'm hoping I will, I've been trying to give RID, the benefit of the doubt, and I'm hoping for everything. It's just, if it's going to be a sequel to Prime, they need to show it this season.
I just hope they still can get Jeffrey Combs to come do the voice, because it's not going to be the same Ratchet otherwise.
Because fortunately, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but I picked up the Strong Arm mold, one of the versions of that, just on a lark, because I do like Strong Arm.
That's the that's Patrol Strong Arm, I think.
Yeah, the Patrol version. And this is really not a good Legends figure. With what we've seen that they can do with a Legends class figure, this is not.
Well, it's Legion class. I mean, that's going to always be a little bit less.
True, but in Legion class we also got Fix-It. That's a phenomenal Legion toy.
Fix-It's kind of a different case because it doesn't have to transform into anything specific.
Well, true.
You just kind of mash down on it until it's flat.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I just wish this reminds me of more like the early Legend stuff than anything more recent. But here's hoping.
So before we move on to the next item, I just wanted to, from the chat, the Real Ronin says we just need to get Matthew to attack via chat commands.
Yeah.
Which just
Why
makes
do you
me
think
think
I don't bring up the chat anymore?
Just makes me think, Twitch plays Massey. I think we need to work on that for the video game marathon we were talking about later this year.
Well, for Christmas,
we need to get that GoPro we talked about for Massey's head.
Yeah.
Well, for the Christmas Secret Santa we did on TFYLP, Megamus did get me a roll of galls, so it looks like I'll be putting that to good use before too long.
Yeah, tie the cat up with it. Anyway,
oh, that'll give me points.
So we have a new leak of Deluxe Brainstorm from Titans Return. This one is the full body shot in color. Yeah, pretty much. Look, I didn't put this in the show notes. Don't blame me.
All right, I apologize. I forgot to show some video or some pictures, but we will do it for Brainstorm.
Gee,
thanks, Diecast.
Or it's just going to be a black screen.
Yeah,
Diecast, what did you do?
It's not me. It's XSplit.
Diecast, what did you do?
Well, at least at least for our podcast listeners, they won't really notice any difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I apologize to our video viewers tonight. I'm sorry. Let's see. Action Toys UltiMetal Ultra Magnus revealed at C3 show in Hong Kong, which is kind of a weird take on Ultra Magnus, where it is just, their existing Optimus Prime figure with Ultra Magnus armor bolted over all the parts. It's not even... That's not how Ultra Magnus works.
It makes sense for them,
He
though,
even has the faceplate and everything. Wow.
Yeah, it's almost like this. They were trying to shoot for like a Brave aesthetic, like the armor was like a separate vehicle that, showed up out of nowhere and just Optimus power linked or something.
I mean, I get why it's designed this way. It kind of has to be. It just
it's UltiMetal. It's UltiMetal City Commander. Basically.
But I think it's cool that you're gonna have a white Optimus Prime figure, and then all the armor that's gonna clip on top of that. That's kind of cool.
Thing is, though, if they do have a white Optimus underneath there, it's going to screw up the coloring of the armored Ultra Magnus, because Ultra Magnus does not have a ton of white parts showing through in armor.
No.
Or a faceplate.
I mean, the one picture I'm looking at, it's basically like everything's going to clip onto him.
Right, but no, there's still going to be like spaces in between so the joints can work. And if it's a white Optimus under there, that's going to be kind of screwing up the color balance.
But you know what? None of us will probably ever see it, because the UltiMetal was like $1,000. So with this is added pieces.
800, I think.
800.
Well, keep in mind, at the time UltiMetal Optimus came out, the exchange rate was really bad, which skewed the U.S. pricing.
So this is going to be more.
Depending on the exchange rate.
Yeah,
depending on how the exchange rate bears out, this could actually equalize with price in that for the U.S. for importing.
Still way too much.
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm not even entertaining the notion of getting near one of these. I can't even bring myself to say entertain the notion of buying one, because I'm not.
I mean, if I ran into a lot of money, I would, but...
I have to wonder, though, like, Ender is pretty devoted to his Optimus Prime collecting. I wonder if he ever ended up getting the UltiMetal Optimus.
I do remember asking him about that once, and he did not seem rather positive in his hopes.
I see. Well, maybe one day. So finally, in official news tonight, we have new images of Kabaya Block Wars, the candy toy combiners based on the Cyber Battalion toy designs.
Wait,
that is still a...
That was a thing that sort of came and went real fast.
Cyber Battalion?
Yeah, because I mean, I saw them on a couple pre-orders, and then that was it.
Cyber Battalion seems to have been made for non-U.S. markets, or probably flat-out non-North American markets, because like they were very available in South America and I think some parts of Asia. Just, not here, not Canada. I don't think the UK or other parts of Europe got it. It was made for different markets than what we're used to.
Is this the weird Optimus, Bumblebee, Starscream, Megatron combiner thing?
That's the one.
Yeah. I didn't know they were a combiner.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, this is the candy toy version of Grand Galvatron.
The way they look, I kind of think there's probably like a sort of Mugenbein aspect to it too. Like when they do more, you'll be able to pile more and more on and just make weird combiners out of these.
Wow, look at that combined mode.
Let's not say we did.
Let's just... Now, I will say, the Starscream doesn't look bad in the by himself.
Which half of him?
Well,
the leg or the chest?
The robot mode doesn't look too bad, but that combiner, seeing that reminds me of like Mr. Hard Hat or like the Zybot combiner, some of the earlier non-Transformer combiners from the early 80s. Just wow. That is
well,
sad.
it's a Kabaya product. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's neat if you're into building the little candy toy kit stuff and the sometimes wacky things they do, like adding new parts to Defensor.
And if you buy these kits, do not eat the candy, whatever you do.
Now, I've had the Bandai candy toy candy, and that's not too bad. I don't think I've ever had Kabaya candy, though.
I have. It wasn't bad.
No, but I think that is why your hair turned yellow for a couple months.
Yeah. Well, I do have one piece of Fort Max that I never opened, or Fortress Maximus. So I could technically open it up and eat the gum out.
And Don spent years eating that Kabaya candy, and look what happened to his hair.
Yeah.
And I got a haircut today too, just for the show.
All right, maybe I won't eat that gum after all.
Oh, come on, hair is overrated.
Wait, no. Here's the sad thing. I was in the chair. I got my hair cut, and I watched her while she was sweeping up. She swept up so little. It was like just a little bit, not even as big as a tribble. Just a little bitty pile of hair, and it's like, whoa.
Doesn't it seem just a little bit unfair that they charge you the same amount as the other people?
Yes, it does. It does.
Yes, and in early April when I get trimmed back down again, because this is going to grow out more than you would think in that time, it's going to be unfair to me too when I'm paying the same price as when I had that much taken off. So this is our usual Amazon pandering, give us money segment, and Don has a very important message for us.
Yes. Well, in addition to the things that Chris was going to talk about, I did want to bring up earlier. We mentioned the Transformers Legacy book that has the G1 box art. Now, I know you can go online and find some of these pictures of this box art. You don't want to. You can do that, but this book is gorgeous. I want to say it's even sumptuous. It's I mean, the G1 box art. I'm not a G1er. Hell, I like Robots in Disguise. I like all the stuff except for AEC. But the box art from that time period, it was fully painted. It was gorgeous. And this book is a testament to that. And right now on Amazon, you can get it new for $33.99. But they have some used in their warehouse section as low as $18. This is a gorgeous book. Hey Matt, just pick a page at random, and just show them something.
Diecast, we actually have video going out right now.
Oh
yes.
Okay,
we're good.
Yeah, Matt, show them a page if you can of anything that we got coming from that. Just something that'll wow them, just so they can see it. Yeah. Piranhacon. That was
a thud.
Yeah, that was me hitting Mike. Yeah, Piranhacon box art. Look, that's what we used to get on that artwork. Guys, I think most of us have this book. $18 and like $3 or $4 shipping, even for a used copy, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
I mean, if nothing else, save it for your drive if you're driving to BotCon.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you there, Don.
Not if you're driving.
I'm going to advise our listeners to not read a book while they're driving a car on any trip, really, but especially not a long trip like that. That's probably not safe driving procedures.
Okay. I would like to think people would understand that I was saying if you're a passenger and you're killing some time on the way to BotCon while someone else is driving.
And if you're in the front passenger seat and you're looking at the book and you see something cool, be sure to stick that in front of the driver's face so they can see it too. Radio Free Cybertron does not actually endorse distracting drivers while driving.
It can wait.
Please be safe on the road.
But you knew what I mean. Back to you, Chris, for the regular deals of the day.
But yeah, Legacy is an amazing book. Jim and Bill did an amazing job bringing all that together, getting all the assets to put in it and everything. Finding stuff even I never knew. I think all of us were surprised by some of the things that turned up in that book that we were hearing about for the first time ever.
I've never seen it. I was there when this crap started.
And it's not just domestic Generation 1 stuff. There's a lot of Japanese box art in here, unreleased stuff.
Yeah, exactly. we know a lot about Transformers. There was stuff we learned from that book. That is how amazing that book is. It is definitely worth picking up.
Yes.
Also, possibly worth picking up on Amazon is Road Rage, Masterpiece Road Rage, for just $49, which is great if you want to get one and just never transform it. Which is what most of the owners of that mold here would recommend.
Once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or again, it's one of the few official lady Transformers. So I mean, there's not that many to go around. So why not?
Well,
pick one
let's
up?
see. There's RC, Chromia, Windblade, Slipstream, Nightbird. I mean, that's 5 without even trying to think of
Black
it.
Arachnia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I actually have sitting right here.
Strong Arm.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Compared to how many guys?
Oh, lots and lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, I mean, we came up with quite a few lady Transformers.
There's
just,
more than you think.
Yeah.
We could use more though. You could always use.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Masterpiece Ironhide is about $93, or at least it was when this was written. I don't know if it's
and that one is definitely worth picking up. Like, very few people were harder on that than me. When we like I spewed bile and venom all over this thing. I thought I was absolutely going to hate this figure, but when I got it in hand, my opinion changed very, very quickly. It's a very well put together figure.
So you can find Road Rage at tfradio.net/rage. And Ironhide is at tfradio.net/iron. Because apparently Kilby didn't want to make more than 4-letter addresses. And tax time is coming up, and Kilby's going to have to pay some amount of taxes on the Amazon income. So it would really help out a lot if you, did some of your shopping through Amazon using our link. Doesn't cost you any more. So
Kilby has to pay more taxes
next year, but that's future Kilby's problem.
Yeah.
No, see, Kilby will understand now how much to expect to come in, and he can be, putting aside for that a little every month. So it's not such a. He won't, but he totally could. Anyway, I mean, if you use our link, it doesn't cost you any more than you would pay anyway, and it comes back to us and helps us out when we're not trying to pay off the tax bill. It goes into operating the website and the podcast and getting us nice equipment like this.
Yeah, and like
if you like hearing us, and all of Don's equipment, Don's live support system over there. So if you like hearing us at this high quality and crispness. Shop through tfradio.net/Amazon at least some of the time. Won't hurt. Yeah. So we have a couple items in third-party news. First up is Spark Toys Civil War series, War Within inspired Optimus Prime, which we're seeing in color for I think the first time.
Dear God, this is beautiful. That is.
I have always really
never thought I would
design.
say that about this.
Yeah,
I've never liked it that great, but this looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I've always liked that design, and this looks really, really nice.
See, I liked it as a gray prototype, but now that it's in color, like, the Dreamwave wonky proportionness is kind of coming through a little more strongly. And I mean, I was never going to get this in the first place. Don't misunderstand. I haven't been talked out of a purchase I was going to make. But it's reading to me more like the Dreamwave design now that it's in color, and that's not a good thing for me.
Well, you can always get the titanium.
I mean, I thought about that from time to time.
Don't.
But no.
Yeah.
Don't.
You're fine. Just
no.
Yeah.
I have a very small number of titanium figures, and the ones I've chosen to get
There's a reason for that.
I have titanium Rodimus Prime, which I guess I could get again in the platinum set later this year, and I also have the titanium Robots in Disguise Optimus, both of which are actually fairly nice toys as titaniums go.
Right, but I will say
titaniums go.
But this turned out
that's a very important qualifier right there.
Yeah, that's a gigantic, huge asterisk floating in the air there. But this turned out a lot better than I thought that mold could look. And I'm not going to get one because I'm just not a big fan of the design. But it looks great, and I really hope it does well for him.
So we have also kind of a surprise and also another case of boy, these third parties really need to like get on a conference call at some point, because we have our third unofficial Masterpiece Inferno coming down from Mastermind Creations in their Ocular Max series. But damn, this one looks nice. It's Backdraft, because that's actually a decent code name for an unofficial Inferno.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I don't buy unofficial Masterpiece stuff. It's, Masterpiece is too expensive to begin with, and there's so much to choose from. But this is tempting. This is very, very tempting.
Really, really nice.
Yeah.
The Ocular Max Mirage, which was what, Sphinx?
Yeah.
That was also a really nice looking figure. Like, they've got this design side down. The engineering on Sphinx, from everything I saw about it, looked like it was really good too. I would imagine Backdraft would be the same thing. Like, this is really, really nice looking.
Yeah. Well, there's already at least one. It's not literally. It's a video review of this. It's a mid-production sample review.
A painted prototype, basically.
Yeah, but now I said this. I said this in the pre-show. Inferno's like Shockwave. They're not on my must get new version of list very high, but I'm sort of torn between this and the Hellfire, because I like them both. This is more like this. Like I said, this reminds me of Giant G1 toy with modern engineering, and Hellfire gives me more of a classics-ish kind of feel. I'm sort of torn on, if I get one, which one would it be?
Yeah, but that's really the good side of having the redundancy in this, which is, for whatever your aesthetic sense, there's something that's going to appeal to you enough to tip that balance and be what you want.
Yeah. The one thing I like about Backdraft is that both of his hands have the missiles built in on swivels. So you can have like you have there in the picture, one missile arm and then one regular hand, and there's no parts to pull off or add on. It's all built in on a swivel, so you can have two fists or two missile hands.
Yeah, it's smart design.
Takara really needs to hurry up and do an Inferno, because this is really, really tempting.
And well, my guess is that's going to be coming up soon, because
I've been saying that for like the past 3 years.
Well, here's my logic. I've always said that what they do is the molds that have limited reuses will come after molds that have multiple reuses, as far as like using Peter to pay for Paul. Yeah. So as soon as
you can get all sorts of repaints out of Inferno. That's why I've been expecting it for so long.
Inferno, Grapple, and Artfire.
And Hauler.
Yeah, Road Hauler. E-Hobby. Yeah.
And
that's a little bit more of a stretch, but they would do it.
Yeah. And I'm guessing once we see that, we're going to see maybe Trailbreaker and the ones that you don't get as many repaints out of.
I think what they would probably end up doing is Inferno, and then they would do Jazz, because then back to back they could do Artfire and Stepper.
That would be awesome.
But you know what they might do in between that? Do a re-release of Red Alert, since you're releasing Inferno.
Yeah, maybe so.
There's somewhere in there between the ones that they can repaint, they'll probably put in one that they really can't, like Hound.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hound...
With Hound, if they want to stretch it into the e-hobby stuff again, they can do Detritus. The Junkion recolor.
Yeah, which is really the only thing you can do for Hound.
Yeah, unless you want to do some kind of shattered glass thing, but not on a Masterpiece toy.
We don't want that. We don't want that, no.
I mean, does Hound even have any range of like other Diaclone colors to call on?
I have no idea.
Nothing's jumping out in my mind, and I would think if there was, e-hobby would have gotten on to that when they did when the original reissues were happening. But instead we got Junkion Hound.
Yeah, it would be a stretch, but they could do it as the Turbo Master figure from that one bot concept. But that'd be a stretch.
Scorch?
Yeah.
Scorch.
Yeah.
Which I think was also in some cases called Fire Road?
Roadfire?
Maybe? It had an alternate name for some markets, I recall that at least. This is just like great advertising for that Legacy book tonight. I also like how you're going there when we also have like an easily searchable wiki. But I really liked it using the book.
I'm
instead.
trying
That
to
is
point out
great.
the book's usefulness.
No, I'm saying that is legitimately great.
But I'll be honest though.
Fire Road, aka Scorch.
Yes.
Okay.
See how easy that was to find?
Roadfire might have been something else.
Roadfire was from Zone as part of Big Powered, the tank that combined with Sonic Bomber and Diatlas.
Also, thanks to John DeLuna, who's playing a support role in the Skype chat with us tonight.
John DeLuna, you are the man, the myth, the legend.
And John also expresses he would totally buy a Masterpiece of Fire Road, aka Scorch.
As would I.
But, but I haven't touched my alternator's hound in years. But
that was one of the best alternators, wasn't it?
It was. So that it wouldn't be in scale with the masterpieces we have now, but it's still a good hound.
Yeah, the alternators were actually bigger, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, back before the massive downsizing.
I love too, like, alternators are so overcomplicated, over-engineered, and not fun to play with. Nobody wants to touch them anymore. The masterpieces are smaller, simpler, and just better in every respect. It's kind of hilarious.
But it's sort of weird, though. I look at it like if we hadn't gotten alternators and if they hadn't been as popular as they were for alternators and Binaltech at that time, getting those characters, we might not have a lot of these masterpieces we have now, because it showed how popular those characters were in the Binaltech and alternators line, and that's so they're seeing if they'll buy them in this line, maybe they'll buy.
It's G1 characters, Don. I mean, somebody's always going to buy them.
That's true. True.
As Matt raises his hand.
Anyway.
But yeah, Sphinx looked really good. Backdraft looks really good. I'm kind of interested to see what else Ocular Max, that sub-branding, does, just because, like, they are on a hot streak with making these toys look so nice. I want to see more of their takes on stuff.
Have you seen their Ravage?
Oh, the remix thing?
Yeah.
It's so big, though.
Yeah, it's...
I don't think that's not technically Ocular Max, is it?
I thought it was.
I thought Remix was the specific sub-branding for those.
Oh, yeah, Remix, yeah.
I think that's by a different team within
that.
Mastermind.
Okay, sorry about that. I was getting mixed up then. I apologize.
It's understandable, Don. For one thing, there's way too much of this stuff to keep it all straight in your head all the time, and for another thing, Masterpiece one thing should be equal to Masterpiece other thing, but that Ravage is too big. It doesn't seem like it fits in with anything. I don't know why they actually made it that big.
It's the actual size of a real cassette.
Okay, so that's what it is.
It's 1-to-1 scale, yeah.
Oh, okay. So John is saying in the chat that it's actually Ocular Max Remix. So we're both right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would love to see it. Let's see a sound wave that holds that tape.
Okay, so what I want is step it up one from there, make a rev the size of a VHS tape and a Soundwave VCR.
Hey, well, Takara and Tomy have done Sega Genesis and Optimus Nintendo.
PlayStation, but
PlayStation.
But they weren't actual size.
I know. Yeah, they were teeny tiny little things.
Would have been cool if they were actual size.
Well, it might would have helped the toys better, get a little more mass to them.
Yeah. The Genesis Megatron didn't look bad. The PlayStation Optimus seemed more of a stretch.
Yeah, I wish they had gone with the Super Nintendo version. Because there's one out there that was some fan art where the two controllers became his underslung blasters. Beautiful.
But sadly not. No, what they need to do for that, if they ever did that again, is probably a Game Gear Soundwave. That would kind of make sense, right?
Sega Saturn Shockwave.
Or a Sega Nomad Soundwave. Get really obscure with it, because I don't think Japan had the Nomad. John says Atari Jaguar Refuge. Okay, John wins, and he's not even talking on the stream, so...
Yeah.
All right, I give up. So this week on the network, Superhero Time goes back to classic format, where we talk about the first episode of Duoger. and we're all really positive on it. Also, the show is like almost 2.5 hours long, so yeah, it's definitely classic format superhero time.
Nice.
That's getting into fanboy versus territory there for.
Well, Don, if you remember, before we
except people will listen to it.
Yeah, before we dropped most of our Toku watching because we hated everything that was on, and spun off the Star Trek podcast, which we didn't do this week, by the way, because we did a 2.5 hour superhero time. No, before that though, like 2 hours was about the average runtime of superhero time. So this is pretty much just getting back into form.
Yeah. That's true.
Hopefully we can be a little more brief next week because we have to do Star Trek again. And, people have to go to bed at some point. So Get the Skinny, episode 37. This week, John has a new story about how Starbucks failed him. What a surprise. Brian blew a bunch of money on protein bars. What a surprise. And this paleo diet food tastes like hot dogs. Okay, this is what happens when I don't pre-read this stuff and just, go through it for the first time while I'm reading it on the air.
So basically, it's a version of the Atkins diet. If it's all hot dogs.
John, do you have any comment on that?
What on Get the Skinny? The paleo thing? The salsa?
What is that?
I can't remember that part of the discussion, so I should go listen to the show myself. That's a very bizarre tease.
Because
I don't recall that.
When I hear a paleo diet, I think of just lots of roughage and vegetables and just stuff you'd find laying around in the ground.
You would have been a terrible caveman. You got to go kill something that's running from you, Don, not just lying on the side.
Well, okay, if I was a caveman, Massey would be a saber-toothed tiger.
We can see where this is going.
Yeah, I just have Massey kill this stuff for me.
And this week I'm being awesome with Rob Springer. Robots in Disguise Season 2 starts now. Rob discusses the new episode before some brief Toy Fair thoughts and Q&A. Also, this says, for fun, try dipping dill pickles in barbecue sauce. Your breath will be worse. Thanks, Rob.
Okay. Rob Springer, you have no right to not like my Miracle Whip references ever again.
Oh, no, he absolutely does, but I'm going to basically put this on the same level. The thing is, I'm pretty sure by the phrasing of this, Rob Springer is fully well aware of how horrible this combination is, whereas you still think Miracle Whip deviled eggs are a good idea.
Miracle Whip in your deviled eggs makes them awesome. It also makes awesome egg salad. Try it.
The one benefit of putting Miracle Whip in your deviled eggs is you will have all the deviled eggs to yourself because nobody else will come near those damn things. Matt, before we head out, why don't you tell us what's on TFormers this week?
All right. Also on TFormers this week, there's a review of IDW Comics, The Transformers, formerly Robots in Disguise, number 50, the beginning of the All Hail Optimus story arc, in which Optimus Prime decides it's a fine idea to conquer the Earth.
And that's out in shops today, unless you're in the UK, where I believe it's been shipping delayed by about a week. So, although I think it is available digitally.
Also, a IDW Comics review for Transformers G.I. Joe vs. 11. Yes, that book actually does still exist, and a new copy is out.
Also today.
And last but not least, also on TFormers, Chris has posted a TFormers video review of Combiner Wars Skylynx and Skyrain. Very informative review. I enjoyed it.
I'm informed by Hey Mickey that I forgot to transform a piece of Skylynx, and it's driving him nuts. So, score.
Even better.
Bonus content.
That will get a thumbs up now on YouTube, just so you know.
Achievement unlocked.
Yes. So in our question and feedback session, we have a voicemail from Jason, which Kilby will insert here in post-production. Thanks for your voicemail, Jason. If it's the one I'm thinking of that I saw the transcript of, Jason also had nice things to say about superhero time in that one episode of Star Trek, so thanks for that too. If you would like to leave us feedback, comments, questions, anything like that, you can send us an email at contact@tfradio.net, or leave us a voicemail like Jason did at 931-99-GOBOT. That's 931-994-6286 or 931-99-GOBOT. So follow us on Twitter at TFRadio. When there's events going on, Diecast is always tweeting out tons of stuff, and it's pretty good the rest of the year too. This says to remind people to contact us. I just did that, Kilby, damn it. And once again, the iTunes contest. Leave us a review on iTunes or your podcast aggregator of choice. Send us confirmation of the review either by email, contact@tfradio.net, or over Twitter or Facebook. You can send us a screenshot. That'd probably be the best way to do it. Or copy-paste the text, whatever ends up working best for you. Just, let us know you did it. Get us a copy of your review. And the winner of the contest will receive Combiner Wars Onslaught Fantastic Figure, and we will announce that winner on the show live on March 2nd. And if you've left us a review in the past, you're already entered to win, so you don't even have to do anything more. Although, if you want to go get one of those other podcast aggregators and leave us a review over there, that's cool too.
One question.
So I think, what, Don?
Why would you want to make your podcast angry if you're going to aggravate them?
Did I actually say aggravator at some point?
No, you did not.
Okay. I could totally
just being gone.
No, but I could totally see that happening as fast as I was rushing through that. Although, there's podcasts I've listened to that I wouldn't mind aggravating, and sometimes have aggravated me in return. So, that's fair too. So I think that will do it for this episode of Radio Free Cybertron. Thanks to all of you for watching, and thank you guys for being here. And no thanks to Kilby for running off on us this week. And once again, Rob Clay, feel better. We'll see you next time.